Well, I imagine there are few people more angry than my friend Ann Coulter, the syndicated columnist, and the author. What were the first few words of the title of your last book, Ann?
No, I don't trust him. I could put up with the coarseness, the tackiness, the vulgarity, the porn stars, but idiocy and gullibility are a bridge too far for me.
Yeah, and what do we do at this point? Because I understand
Nothing.
He said...
It's over with Trump. We'll lose the House. Don't bother voting Republican. They sent him this bill. I think, for one thing, we think of, there are some fun things that will happen with the end of America. Again, very sorry about your grandchildren living in what will become South Africa. But we have all these new immigrants who really hate, other ethnic groups. So we can stir up all kinds of ethnic tensions. Revenge will be fun. Definitely revenge on the House and Senate Republicans. There was something else I thought would be fun. Oh, we can concentrate on fun stuff like the NCAA basketball games, which I have been concentrating on for the rest of the day today.
Yeah. So we can do our brackets and keep ourselves busy. But
yes, it's been an exciting NCAA. A lot of number 9 seeds are winning, so it's really it's a good time to drop out of politics.
Well, Ann, tell me this: McConnell and Ryan must have realized that this was precisely what was going to come out of this. So they've decided to flush the House and and maybe the Senate and the presidency they're the ones whose constitutional job is to write the budget. I know the president could have been a lot more involved, and I'll be happy to fault him for not being more involved and for not saying this is the kind of budget I want, but he didn't do that, and they didn't do what the Constitution tells them to do, and they must have known what you just laid out is going to be the result. Why?
Yes, well, just to recap quickly in case your listeners have joyfully been in blissful ignorance today on what the Republicans sent to Trump and Trump signed. This bill expressly prohibits building a border wall. Absolutely no prototypes. That is written in black and white. These, the fancy prototypes that Trump has been going to visit with all the 3D chess Trumpsters telling me it's coming. You see, he's looking at the prototypes. No, this bill expressly says all he is allowed to spend any money on is 33 miles of little pedestrian fences, mostly rebuilding some of the existing fences. 33 miles. 33 miles. Chuck Schumer, the arch rival to the Republicans and to Donald Trump, he got, $60 billion for a tunnel in New York, but Trump only got $1.6 billion to repaint the fences on the border. This bill in black and white expressly denies Trump's request for 1,000 new border agents. A wall works a lot better than border agents, but be that as it may, it gives him zero capable of arresting any illegals. He gives them about 100, but they have to be in bureaucratic jobs. So there will be no arrests going on of illegal aliens, but we will have to pay their pensions and their health care and their government salary. So it's great. We got 100 new bureaucrats in Washington. That's good for Chuck Schumer, too. There will be no more detention facilities. This has been a request. It's been a big problem. There aren't enough detention facilities for illegal aliens. Nope, no money for detention facilities. And the bill expressly says that we're returning to catch and release so that when illegal aliens are caught by our ICE agents, they have to be released. They can't be detained. What else do we have? And all of this is justified on defense spending. Defense spending is a massive welfare program. I wouldn't have bothered mentioning it, but this is not the 1980s anymore where we actually have a depleted military. We have a military that's spending money on giving operations to transgenders and putting girls in combat, and it's massive corporate welfare. So, oh yeah, their salaries have gone up and up and up. They're like, the prison guards in California making $300,000 a year, retire at age 40, get benefits for life. No, this is just a gigantic welfare program now, and that's how Republicans justified it. Nancy Pelosi told Trump, if you want to think there's a wall, just think there's a wall and sign the bill. And that's what he did. They're all gloating in Chuck Schumer's office saying they're getting tired of winning so much. There is no hope now. Why did Republicans do it? Because they don't care about the country. What they care about are their corporate donors. They can think for about 6 months ahead. Yeah, the country will be over, but they can go back to their corporate patrons who get the cheap labor. Oh yeah, lots more H-2B visas. So that's good. Lots more foreigners coming in under the visas under this plan. They'll go to their corporate donors. So what if they get voted out of office? They'll say, you owe me. Put me on your board. Pay me a lot of money. So the rich will get even richer, and your grandkids will be living in South Africa. Thank you, Republican Party and Donald Trump.
But McConnell and Ryan must realize that while they can shuffle off some of the blame on Trump, and he deserves some of it, they're going to catch a big piece of it as well, correct?
Who knows? I think people just won't vote.
Well, but that's not voting is almost as good for the other side to complete. You've just written the epitaph for America. Not voting is going to do the Democrats almost as much good as Republicans being in disarray. And by the way, they're doing this against a backdrop of a Democrat Party that still doesn't seem to know which side is up and which side is down. But they appear to be winning without even trying. Right?
Yes, I mean, the good news for Trump, though of absolutely no consequence to the country, Trump will not be removed from office because of the Senate math. There aren't enough Republicans that as you know, the House members, that's why it's the People's House, they're up for election every 2 years. Senators, only a third every 2 years of the Senate is up. It just happens a third of the senators who are up for election this year, there aren't many Republicans at all. None of them are in purple states, much less blue states. There were a bunch of seats we should have been able to pick up in North Dakota, Montana, Missouri. Those Democrats are totally safe now. So the Senate probably will not change hands. The House will. Trump will be impeached, but he won't be removed because Republicans will have the Senate. He, of course, will not be able to run for re-election again in 2020 when he looks at his poll numbers. He'll still have the idiot Cro-Magnon saying, oh, it's 3D chess he's playing, who just love him for that charming personality of his. But that's not going to be enough to win the election, so he'll just announce, oh, look, I made America great again. We repainted a fence down by San Diego.
So why did he do it? He had to know what was going to happen. Even if he didn't realize what this budget was going to do, he had to have people around him. Or did he?
Have you seen the people he's hired?
I like John
Bolton. I don't think Jared knows. I don't think Ivanka knows. I think they really want to be popular in the Hamptons. That was a real bait and switch on his base. There was no intimation during that entire campaign. Don't worry, I'm putting my liberal Democrat son-in-law in charge of everything.
Any silver lining at all here, Ann?
No. I mean, I'm going to think of the things we can do to amuse ourselves while we watch the end of the country.
Well,
I mean, maybe there's still time for Chris Kobach to run in 2020. Maybe we could get someone serious who won't break his promises. I have no regrets over supporting Trump. He was the only one who said these things. He said them. He was a big fat liar, but he said them, and the rest of them were all promising to do what Trump is doing. I mean,
Syndicate, Ann, I got a break. Syndicated.